Welcome back, guys. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Uh, at the end of this video, you should know how to apply some advanced techniques to solve this figure. First, I like to analyze my figure to determine the best approach. Here we have the overall height is not established, but we pretty much can determine that by adding these 15 plus 45, that's 60. So the overall dimension for this is 100 by 60. We have a square here, which is inclined at an angle. So in this case, we're giving the length of one side. We notice here that we have a chamfer here, and what seems to be a chamfer here as well. To get started, the first thing we need to do, well, let me just do a little bit on this, a little recap. You will need to set up your drawing space before you start this drawing. And the 7 things that you need to set up are your drawing template, your units, your limits. You need to turn off the grid. You also need to set up your layers, your dimension style, your text height, and your object snap settings. Here is a reference sheet that will give you a good idea of what you will need to set up for a typical drawing like this. Also, some recommended layers that you should set up, as well as a reference limit table. Reference limit table here. Remember now, once you set that limit, you must type Z enter key, A enter key, in order to bring that limit onto the screen. Yeah? With that being said, let's get into the drawing. So the first thing to do here, I will be drawing a rectangle. So for that, I go to Home, then go to my construction layer. Left click on my construction layer. My next step is to activate rectangle. So I left click here, click my start point, left click here for my start point, shift at, and I type 100, 60, 60, enter. That is now done. My next step, I'm gonna move this, left click, M for move, enter, choose anywhere inside as a base point, drop this here. Drop this here. I think I want to bring these drawings down here in this open space. M for move, enter, left click, then drag this down here. Left click, escape. So this is down here. My next step would be to draw a circle here with radius 20, which is half of this. C for circle, enter. Start point I want it to be here. Radius 40, 2, enter. So what I just did, I type 40 /2. That actually divides the diameter into 2. Alright, so this is useful in cases where the number doesn't give you a nice square radius. Yeah. So this is now used to determine the point here, this point here, that point there. My next step is to draw a circle using here a center of radius 35 to get this point. Spacebar to reactivate circle. I then left click here, go up 35, enter. And that is now established. I now need to join a line from here to this point here. Enter. That is now done. My next step is to establish a center for this. Well, I could use mirror, I could use circle, or I could use mirror. Mirror this on the other side. So I left click MI for mirror, enter. Specify the first mirror line one is here. Next mirror line is here. Then erase source. No. I wish to keep the source. That is done. I can now remove this. That is no longer needed. Or you could let that stay to show your construction details. My next step is I could explode this, type X for explode, enter, then offset this up by 15 to get this line. So I left click on this, I then move in this direction, I type O for offset, enter key, I then type 15, enter, then left click on that side. That is done. That is now done. I could also delete this if I want, as this is no longer needed. I have already used this to get this point. However, you might want to keep those to show your construction details. Now, my next step is to draw a circle from here, 20 millimeters, or I could use 2P. C for circle, enter, 2P, left click there, left click here, type 20, enter. That is established. Space bar to reactivate, go back to 2P, left click here, and type 20, enter. That is now done. Now I'm going to draw a line, L, enter. My start point is here, up, 15, enter, enter. Space bar to reactivate, click here, up, start point, 20, enter, enter. Trim, TR, enter, enter. That is now done. That part is now done. So this is done, that is done, that is done. Alright. Now I will need to establish the center for this, square, the center for this. Right? So for that I'll be using a line, L for line, left click here, go turn on auto mode, go up, type 40, enter, enter. That is now established. Coincidentally, this falls right on that. Now I'm going to draw the square, then rotate it. So for that square, I type REC for rectangle, enter. And I let this be 20, 20, enter, to get that square. Now I'm going to rotate this at 45 degrees. RO for rotate, enter. Select object. Rotation angle is 45. 45, enter. That is done. My next step is to move this to where it's supposed to be. I left click here. I then go down, drag that to here. Yeah, and that is done. I can now use my outline to completely clean this up. So for that, I change to my outline layer, and I'm gonna use polyline. Left click here, left click there, left click here, left click there. Oh, I did something incorrect there. Left click there, left click there, left click, left click. Then I'll be using match property. So here, this one is not correct. Left click here, enter. TR, enter, enter. Match property, MA for match property. Click this, click that, click that, click, click, and click. And that is now completed. My next step would be to add my dimension to this. And for that, I go up here, click on dimension. I'm going to choose align, left click again, left click here, drag. No, they didn't give us that. This is that. Space bar once, click here, click there. Oh, I need to use linear in this case. Linear. Space bar to reactivate, left click here, left click there, drag down. Space bar to reactivate, left click here, left click there, drag down. Space bar to reactivate, left click here, left click there, drag out. Space bar to reactivate. I need to establish an overall height. Click there, click there. And I will need to use this. This is called the leader. So left click there, turn off ortho, and label this. It's a square SQ20. You could type it out. I probably should use capital letter SQ20. So that is now done. This is now done. That's all there is to it.